Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. God, it feels like I say that quite often, but I'm back here on Nova Tournament. I'm taking over the spot of Elijah, the man, the myth, the legend. When he comes back, make sure you show him some love. Regardless, I'm joined here by an also legend and myth. It's KJ. How you doing, my man?
No, you're the legend. I'm doing well. And we get to do another cast together, so that is always good. But in terms of today, we get to cast a very good match coming up. So I'm keen to see it. But any words of the last game, Tiaki, before we move to this next one?
I mean, it was absolutely incredible. You had the back and forth going in from NDE and trying just being able to solidify that win just barely. It's a little bit difficult for them to really make that sort of push, but they were able to just finally close it out 7-3 as NDE looked like they were going to put up a bit of a counter charge, a bit of a comeback from their own side. Regardless, though, one thing we did forget to mention is we've all got predictions. I mean, come on. Casters always have to predict what the games are going to look like and the games are going to be. So, predictions for this evening. Obviously, most teams, except for me and Credo. Most people, except for me and Credo, thought that Trident would win, and they were successful in doing so, with me and Credo thinking NDE. Now, I've gone a little bit haywire. The next game, looks like most people are saying Riot. I'm saying Arena. What do you think about that, KJ?
I think Arena is good, but I think Riot they're looking to change that. They're looking to do a bit of an upset and not let Arena win. But Arena have been looking good. It was a tough one. I think a lot of these games are going to be close today. It just depends on who brings the better sort of mentality and the better gunfights, the better everything. And I just think that Riot takes it. In terms of that matchup. But if you have a look, we all agreed on Bandits. We've all agreed there, the number one team. And then Panic, but apart from Kratos, he thinks that Naughty Sausages is going to win that one. But on the Nutty versus Kill Squad game, we're a little bit more, separated. But for the most part, some good games. But you reckon Arena this next game, Tiaki?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be a little bit of the problem child in this whole prediction. Riot, for me, have been doing really well in their games as of recent. I should say, in the last few games, unfortunately, they've had a few problems and a few things that they have needed to fix in the previous games that they have played. I mean, they're 1-4 currently, I believe. I may be wrong. Regardless, however, on the opposite end, you do have Arena 2-3. So they've been able to win and secure one more game so far. So this is going to be a clash. This is going to be a very interesting sort of matchup. And I mean, when you are talking about the 8th team against the 7th team in the comp, a lot of these matches this evening are deciding matches. They will either move teams up or make them verse the teams that have just moved up as well or moved down. So it's going to be a very interesting set of matches going back and forth for this evening. Regardless, though, I say that all the time, I swear. But in this whole overlook and whole view of this, at this stage, all these teams are looking pretty stock standard as far as we've seen.
Yeah, but in terms of match 2, which is what we'll be casting together, I wonder what the map is. I want to see another map. We had Theme Park last map, which was a interesting one, and we don't get to cast that very often, but the map for today,
there's
Tiaki,
a spicy
for us
one.
It's Skyscraper.
Absolutely spicy. We're going over to the map that brought in good old operators like Echo and the good old operator of Habana with her Skyros. It is the Sky of Scrapers, and on the opposite end, of course, Riot banning off Cafe, Theme Park, Bank, and Border, and Arena banning off good old Oregon, Villa, Clubhouse, and Chalet. So a lot of the competitive maps have been chosen by Arena to be removed. The normal maps that you do see a lot of these teams sort of playing. It looks like they're wanting to go to a bit of a different sort of setup as we move in towards the Skyscraper match. But Riot, they're on the defense. What do you think's going to be happening there?
I think, like Theme Park last game, It's a very defense sort of heavy or favored map, I'd like to say. It is a lot better than Theme Park on that attack. You can sort of work your way around the map a little bit easier and open up avenues to make it, a lot better for you. But for the most part, I'd like to say if the defenders play it well, they extend, they shut down some drones from the other side of the map. They're able to waste a lot of time, and it just costs those defenders. So once again, another only 2-story map. So hopefully on the attack Arena, they can find some rounds and put themselves in a very, very good position going onto that second half. But if they can't stop Riot's defense, it's going to look quite rough for them on their own defense. But we've seen comebacks. We've seen insane games from all teams in this tournament. So I wonder what the scoreline will be. But you believe in Arena, I believe in Riot. But I think for the most part, we probably both believe it's going to be a close game nonetheless.
Yeah, 7-5, maybe even an 8-7 if it does come down to it. Could be the possible scoreline for both these two teams. We're just getting word that these two teams are almost ready and revving to go. But as you said, in the most recent games that we have seen being played on Skyscraper, it has been a considerable amount of extension play. T into Exhibition and Exhibition back into T has been happening quite a lot, especially in that Geisha area, cutting off any sort of attempts of push just to delay as much time as possible. Downstairs, not so much. We don't really see many extensions down there except for going straight back up the stairs. So it's going to be a very interesting sort of map. And I mean, when you're Riot, you're starting off on the defense, you definitely feel in a better position than Arena will be feeling currently. However, when you talk about the fragging squad, when you talk about the guys that you always hope to be on the attacking end, it's got to be Arena out of these two. They are I call them the frag fest, the fraggers, as we always like to see them. And they definitely have that ability to control their attacking side. So, all we can say is it's going to be a very interesting match.
For sure, and I think it really depends on the way that Arena want to play this. We've seen them play the last couple times, Tiaki. They like to bring those cavs, they like to bring that knock, they like to lurk and sort of be a little bit cheeky. So I wonder if we're going to see that on Skyscraper as well. There's a lot of vert potential. You can play that Pulse, you can play, Solar. So if they're not banned out, it's available to the defenders and, to the attackers. So what do you think is going to be banned on Skyscraper in terms of operators? Because we haven't really seen a Skyscraper game. What do you reckon is going to be brought out here?
That's a very interesting question. You definitely have a lot of different operators that you can choose from. There's not a specific set operator that you can commonly ban. It's not always the same sort of sets. Regardless, on that side, I do see the OSA being quite a common ban, as well as the Knock and the Dokkaebi. Again, all of those operators being a little bit of an annoying bans every once in a while. But then on the defensive side, most of the time you see the Solus, as you mentioned. Not often do you see the Pulse being banned. I think that can easily be cut off if an IQ is brought correctly into it. However, it all depends on the way and the operators that they choose and pick. I have seen recently Flores being one of the operators being banned. But here we go. As we start the good old ban phase, right, we'll begin with the first set of bans. And here we go. First ban's going to be coming in. It will be the Thatcher. I forgot to mention the Thatcher. Everyone loves to see the Thatcher removed.
He's just very, very strong in terms of that EMP potential. His radius on it is crazy, and you're not going to be able to hold those walls, to stay electrified or jammed as easy. But with him off the board, it'll be a little bit easier for Riot to do so. But an interesting ban that we don't really see, especially on a map like Skyscraper. It's more like on your border and whatnot. But Nomad to be banned on Skyscraper by Arena. So interesting choice there. And I wonder what they're going to follow up on the defense. Are they going to choose another wacky ban, or we're going to see something sort of stock standard?
Well, I mean, with Arena, they like to get those bans that they can... Well, they like to remove those operators where they can have a roaming potential. And at the moment, the Nomad is going to be removed. So that means that the Jackal will still be available and playable for the side of Arena if they choose to, but I mean, they're on the attacking side first. It's not a huge worry for now. It will be a worry once the switch up starts to come through. But there we go, straight away. We're starting to see the first site. It's going to be second floor karaoke, second floor tea room. And already, that's an interesting operator lineup. The Montaigne being brought into play, Ash, Iana, and the Dokkaebi.
Yeah, there's none of the global utility operators have been banned, as well as that OCE that you mentioned hasn't been banned either. So it leaves a lot of room for Arena to play with, and it'll be interesting how Riot want to deal with that Monty. If you bring that Monty, it's going to be able to clear a lot of this map quite easily. You can't get shot from front on unless you know, you do a bit of a run if you bring the Oryx, but no Oryx from the side of Riot. So I wonder how they're going to deal with that. But we do see some switch ups. No more Ace. They are bringing the Blackbeard. They are bringing the Lion as well, but no more Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi's going to switch over to that Iana. So almost switch ups all around, but maybe this is going to be like a karaoke push. Karaoke top black. Maybe they're going to use that Monty to take that top black area and have that Blackbeard on that karaoke window and then explode off everything after that. But we will soon see very, very shortly. And by the looks of the spawns, that is going to reign true, Tiaki.
I mean, a quick push, a quick start to the game is what Arena love to do quite often. We can already see them starting to make their way up on this northern side, try and see if they can spot out any of these players making any sorts of movements. Oh, the back and forth. The back and forth. They know someone is close. They need to pick the angle. It is such a close angle. Shiro will not... Sorry, Syro. I almost said it wrong. Will not jump out. Regardless... It is going to be the Montaigne pushing downstairs, so he can be a little bit of a threat down the bottom there. Blackbeard's going to start to open up this northern side of the corner, or northern side of the section. Try and see if he can spot someone down the hallway, or someone making a quick peek. But it looks like most of their extension and most of their setup is towards this exhibition side right now. They're going to have trouble trying to identify that most of these players have actually started to clear out a lot of these angles downstairs. And as you said with the Montaigne, there is quite a lot of choke points here, quite a lot of doorways that people really can't open up too much on. So it's a little bit difficult to take him out, as he'll spot one down the hallway.
Oh, Kilo opening up the game, but find Tesla, but Rella to find the response. And Rella, he's looking so good right now. I've seen the way that he's been playing and definitely has a lot of potential as a player. But Plant is going to go down, but they're going to stop momentarily as Kongi takes a little bit of damage from this T side from Flux, I do believe. So they're going to be careful of all these open soft walls. And look at that. Warden's just in the hallway, ready to get active. But if he's going to be careful, otherwise he's going to get caught off guard. But unfortunately, the Blackbeard shield's too strong and he's able to shut down Rella. 4v3 now for Arena.
Yeah, that Blackbeard is such a powerful operator if you cannot do the damage. There goes Density again, but Flux is able to find the kill. Density able to pick up a third for himself. As now it's down to Az's bomb is going to be down. Montaigne is still available, so this is looking very difficult. The back and forth goes through, but Density, he'll find the fourth. And that will be Arena to secure the first round.
Blackbeard in those sort of conditions where you don't quite hit the head directly, it's just unfortunate. You know, that shield will save you in those moments, and it definitely did. He was able to pick up, what you said, 4, right? Or 3? 4
kills, quadra kill for the old man on the Blackbeard.
And that is definitely one way to open up this game onto Skyscraper, especially being on that attack. And they just weren't quite able to deal with that Monty. That Monty-Blackbeard combo just absolutely stomped through right just then. But hopefully, they're going back to this T-room side. They've got a response. They're bringing that Legion. So they've got a sort of a little bit of adaptation going on. And but I don't think Arena are going to do the same thing. They're going to do something a little bit different. They're probably going to take the other side of the map. But they are bringing, for now, that Flores. So if you're not going to dedicate any mute jammers to deny those doorways, he's going to be able to clear that shield from Rella for free. But they're going to be careful. Because Arena, although they looked confident in the next round, I'm sure Riot, they're going to have a little bit more know-how on how they're going to be playing, sorry. So I think for Riot, not all is lost.
Yeah, well, I mean, right, they have now figured out the first sort of setup, and they know that Arena was going for more of an aggressive sort of playstyle. Interesting thing that Zethy's back on to that Montaigne, so he will still be such a massive threat in its current setup and current way. Regardless, though, it is going to be a direct push in towards this extension. Will not be one downstairs straight looking for that angle. One player is going to be downstairs. It will be Azaz. He's going to look to try and see if he can spot out any players making this jump, but I believe that was just made to get that wall opened up. And now he can just sit underneath, wait for someone to make a push on to that wall. The Montaigne believing that someone is underneath, putting up the shield just in case. He'll need to be careful about making his entrance in, as now Kongi, the first man in for his team, will spot out one down in towards the Dragon hallway. As someone's going to be jumping out on the opposite side. It looks like he was trying to see if he can spot one player, but Rella in this position of drum will need to try and see if he can spot someone's movement. And it doesn't look like anything's just going to be happening just yet.
Not just yet, but with that Monty, it's definitely going to make things easier, clearing out Rella, especially in this drum. But for the most part, it looks like they're just trying to go for this shrine site, drone out any intel on that part. But Flotto's drone going to detonate, so maybe that shield just got cleared. Cyro to take some damage from that, and Rella, he's just looking to fall off a little bit as Monty decides to push in through. And he's going to be careful because he is putting down his shield, and Rella is going to do some damage. He's going to shut down Kongi. That's your line off the board. No more scans from him to go out, and that puts Riot in a very, very good position. 59 seconds. But Kulo going to get a pick with a Claymore onto Azaz. But Zethy find a pistol kill of his own onto Rella. So back in that advantage. But Density with a bit of a misplay, shutting down Kulo.
Successful kill for Density there, and he adds it to his stack. 5 kills for him at this stage. Regardless, though, as we mentioned, like we were talking about it, Zethy, he is such a massive threat with this Montaigne. Everything that he does is a problem child for Riot, and they are struggling here. But with 20 seconds remaining on the board, a lot more is going to need to be done. Flashbangs start to go through. They will not flash out Flux, and that is so incredibly unlucky as they'll start opening up the walls. Zethy's going to begin the plant. He will have the chance to put it down. Needs to be covered. Back and forth will go through. Zuve is able to find the kill, and that's going to be a member down. Tesla will try to take the kill onto Density. He'll find one for himself. Flux able to find the kill onto Zuve, and the second onto Zethy. And that will be it. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. 2-0. Will remain, and there we go. Riot come back with a 1-1.
Yeah, I think Riot, they definitely knew what they were doing on the retake, at least for when that plant went down. You know, it was a 3v3, or was it a 4? No, it was a 3v3. But obviously, Arena, they have that Monty, so they only have 2 guns up, and unfortunately for them, Riot just exploded on that retake and took down the necessary post-plant holding positions, and from there they just collapsed on that Monty, and he couldn't quite deal with it. So Riot, they definitely have a response, and let's see if they can continue that going into round 3 as they work their way over to that work office exhibition site. And looks like they're bringing some operators we like to see, but they're bringing that Goyo, which I didn't get to see last game, but I'm glad that they're bringing out this game. And they're bringing that Malusi in case of any cheeky lurks that we know that Arena like to do.
Well, it looks like Arena, they're going to be going for more of their direct sort of play style once again. The operators that they have brought sort of signify that. Zuve jumping on to the good old sledge with Kulo jumping on to the Yana. Zethy on to the Ash, and Kongi on to the Dokkaebi. So it's once again, you're seeing these operators that are quite commonly picked, one for their annoyance, one for their utility, one for their annoyance, two for their utility, and three just for how the players can operate with their gun styles and their gunplay as a general whole. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play around with this. They can easily get this wall open if they can identify exactly where that Kaid charge is, and they are able to spot out the Wamai, so no peeks are going to be made from good old Shy.
Shy?
Sai. I keep saying it
Syro.
wrong. My apologies. It's going to haunt me for the rest of these days.
No, he is a little bit shy right now. He doesn't have any kills just yet, but he's getting a little bit active outside of that terrorist store, but no kills to come off just yet. But Zuve, he's made his way into this below here. He's in bathroom, maybe to get some nades from below, and he's going to get some call-outs from his teammates on where those positions are. This could be pretty deadly, but it looks like he's just going to clear stuff off the wall for now. But Goyo pack to pop off of that nade, so they must have had that on the breach. But I'd imagine those K-claws are in those spots. So if they don't clear that, it's going to be very difficult for them to continue. And Syro, he's able to find not one, but two onto not only the EMP holder, but as well as the thermite. And that breach is going to remain closed as he wasn't able to detonate it. And Diffuser is going to be left there. And Riot just sort of settle down, play off those two picks. They can secure themselves another round here.
And that is one of the biggest kills that you look for. Rella is able to find the kill on Zuve as it's going to be dropped down. Kilo will be the one confirming that kill, but they have so much to work on here. They have to get aggressive, and there we go. Immediately, it's going to start being played. But there we go. Syro's there again. Kulo's able to find one, but he needs to find three more. Pistol out in hand. The back and forths go through. Rella will confirm the kill, and that will be it. Riot showing up. They want this game more than Arena.
They definitely do, and you know, they are on that defense. It is a little bit more comfortable for a lot of teams on a map like Skyscrapers. So Arena, if they can pick up at least one more round before they go switch to that defense, definitely not a bad position to be in. But right now, Riot is looking to deny that idea and not let it come to fruition. So can they continue this lead on Skyscraper? And now they go to that barbecue kitchen. It's that tertiary site. So this is where things could get interesting. Some teams don't know how to hold this this site as well as others, and some teams know how to attack it a lot better than defend it. So maybe Arena can even up things on this barbecue kitchen site and shut down this defense from Riot.
Well, this is one of the most, if not the most pivotable rounds right now. Excuse me. Tongue twister coming in there. But this round especially, right, they're going down to their final site. If they can cut down this final site and control this final site easily, it's just... They can go back to the sites. They know how to play them. They know exactly what Arena is going to be doing. They know how to counter it, and that's exactly what Riot will be looking to do here. If they can secure this site, they have a high chance, or a higher chance I should say, of getting that 5-1 split. Then again, if they cannot control this site, they'll end up going back to the other sites and trying to get a 4-2 split, at which time Arena might end up gaining control of one of these two sites, because now they know exactly how Riot play. They know what they'll do against both positions and both adaptations of their types of pushes. So this is where it starts to become the very interesting mental and strategical game that we like to see in Rainbow Six Siege. As I say that, there is one you don't count out, and it is the man that seems to be finding all of the hard breaches. Rella is able to find one onto Zuve, and that is a bit of a problem.
It is for sure. They're trying to get that top floor control because it is so pivotal to pressuring this barbecue kitchen side, and able to find the first pick onto Ace as well. Not a good position for Arena, but Kongi, he's going to make things a little bit better, and he's going to shut down Azaz. So I think that is also a good response. And now it's going to even up that man count. So Arena, they just need to clear these people above. If they're not able to do that, and they try and collapse on site, they're just going to be met by the potential vert that they may have, or is going to be made when they do push onto that site. So they need to focus up here. They need to take out these players that, for the most part, are holding rather separated on this top floor. But Kulo, he's able to find Rala, and no response from Riot yet. So they're going to be careful. If they continue to lose picks like this, they're going to lose this round.
And now we'll start to see the push across coming in from Arena. They'll start controlling the upstairs sort of angles to open up a lot of these main walls. Just try and gain as much of this upstairs control to begin their vertical plays as possible. But there he is. You don't count him out. Shiro able to find the kill, and that will be the one that is such a necessity. They need to move this player out of this position, but it is the Wamai, and he can just cut off any of these pushes. Peek will come through, back and forths will keep coming, but he can just fall back to site. He doesn't need to worry about it at all. There's now 30 seconds remaining, and they need to start opening up in towards this site. But the vertical play, it hasn't even been started yet. 20 seconds remaining on the board. Zethi's going to start to make his move down. He needs to clear these angles, but there we go. Kills coming left, right, and center. Riot's able to pick up one. Tesla's able to pick up one as well. Density looks to pick up the one that he was looking for. He's going to drop down. Needs to kill Flux, but there we go. And Riot will secure it. As now, Arena, they're looking in quite a bit of trouble.
They are, and I think they did well to clear out those two players above, but they forgot about Cyro. He was up there, tucked in that top black door in the corner, and they didn't quite spot him out. They didn't utilize their drones or play off each other for the refrag to shut him down, and unfortunately, he didn't just find one, he found two, and definitely cost them that round there, and they weren't quite able to execute and get the vert that they needed to secure that round. And now, right, have that 2-round lead. And Arena, they need to find at least one more round here. But if Riot keep playing the way that they are, it's going to be a challenge.
Well, now comes the, as I was basically saying, KJ, it's reached the point now that the mental is going to be starting to affect these players. They now know that they're coming back to this site. Riot know that they can easily control it. They know the pushes that can come from Arena, but Arena know the exact same. They know the pushes that can come out of this. As far as Riot are concerned, they've got their 3-3 split that they were looking for. They're now looking for whatever more they can gain, so when they get on the attack, it becomes an easy road for them. Regardless, though, in these positions, right, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Both teams have now seen both of these two teams and their playstyle. They know how these two teams play, except for the exhibition site. We only saw one of that. So, will Arena be able to identify the best way to approach it? And are they going to be careful enough? Right here, we're seeing the same sort of setup as they last had, where they would bring the Flores, they'll bring the Iana, they'll bring in the Ace, the Habana as well, just to try and open up as much as they possibly can, gain as much info as they possibly could, and that's a really early piece of utility removed.
Yeah, it almost got caught by the mute jammer, but he detonated it far enough away so that would clear that shield, so that's a good sort of pick there from one Flores drone as well. So I think that's, for the most part, really good. But from Arena, we're not seeing the Monty, we're not seeing the Blackbeard, so hopefully they don't rely on just that. But no, Zuve is going to prove that story to be false. He's going to shut down Cyro early. Now that's a good play to have off the board if you are Arena. You now just have to worry about the rest of them, though.
Well, the members playing a little bit back is a bit of a problem with Arena. I was gonna say, is a bit of a problem with Arena, but Kongi, he shuts me up immediately. I'm able to find an easy kill here, and it's on to Flux, the man that has been doing extremely well for the side of Riot so far. Nitro Cell will come in, as is Brilliant play, good calls by his team, being able to set up with those drones, and this is immediately switched round. As is able to find a triple, Rella's able to find a second, and now it's all down to Kulo. He's got to find 3, starts making his push in, able to find the first. That's going to be Rella taking off the board, able to spot the second. It's a one-on-one, back and forth go. Az is able to find it, and it's all down. Riot. That was absolutely okay. That's Az's round. MVP for that round. He absolutely insane.
That round was hats off to him. He got 4 kills, got the double nitro. I think that was a bit of a misplay from Arena. They didn't shoot the default there. I don't know if you noticed. They could have had a Velt cam in there as well, but they didn't shoot the default in there, which could have easily pinged both those players. Whoever was dead for Riot, they could have given that intel, given him that info to say, blow that C4 up, you're going to get a nasty 2k. And he did. And that flipped the tide for Arena. They lost all sort of footing, all sort of grip on that round from that singular play. And it's unfortunate for Arena. They're, in a tough position now. They have to win this round here. Otherwise, Riot, they're 1 round away from that match point going onto that attack, and for the most part, that isn't a tough ask.
So this, in my opinion, KJ, and I think you will agree with me on this one, this is where a timeout was so necessary. They needed to use one now, just because of the fact that that round, that is such a mentally tough round to sink in to the brains of Arena. I mean, fully secure, 3 to 5, and then 2 members die. Another member dies. Another member dies on the all different sides of the map, and it was just Kulo to try and hold on to keep the mesh as it was. But it's just it's tough. It would be really tough. Regardless, though, we're starting to see the push coming in from Arena. They're going to be looking to try and see if they can open up this bottom side of the floor. We'll be able to spot out one. Kongi is able to take out Az's, and that's a big kill for this round. The man that caused all the problems in the last round is no longer going to be there. But as we've seen, with 3 members, you still cannot count out all of Riot. And we've seen how powerful this Wamai in this position has been previously. Cyro being such a threat, he's going to fall back, avoiding any sort of play, any sort of position from the side of Arena. But now the timer begins to count down, and this is where it starts to get interesting.
They have that Monty too. We didn't see them utilize the Monty on this side specifically, so I wonder how they're going to play it this time around. But they haven't opened up this XE window. Tesla's able to hug it and play close, but he is going to be spotted out, so that's good drone work from Arena. He's forced to reposition, but with that Monty, you're able to take things like Terrace, which you wouldn't usually take unless you knew it was clear, but he's going to be able to deny any runouts from happening, as well as giving a lot of info to his team. And being that 1 man up, Arena are looking good to win this round, but they got to start to find some picks from below, potentially with those nades at least. But right now, 1 nade was wasted, but nothing to come of it just yet.
Look at this position from Rella. He's able to possibly pick up the Montaigne, making his way in. It's not going to be an aggression just yet. I believe the Montaigne may have actually spotted Rella's position as the run out comes in, and it's on to 2. It's going to be Cyro able to find the 2 again that he was looking for. Kulo's going to be in the site as Cyro's going to be dropped down. Now it's down to Kongi. He's able to find 2 as well. Triple kill for him. Flux is the last member alive, and this is looking like Arena's round. 35 seconds remaining on the board. The peak's going to come in. Flux missing the easy kill, and Kongi will confirm a quadra kill for him. Arena showing that they can still be in this game.
They definitely can, and it took a 4K to do it. Back-to-back 4Ks, but on separate sides. Riot finding theirs in the previous round, but this time, Kongi finding it in that last attacking round. And now Arena, they get to go on that defense, and I did say a 4-2 split is what you need at the very least for a map like Skyscraper. And going into that defense now and not being 5-1 for them, I think is going to be definitely a comfortable position now for Arena. They don't have to stress out too much, but they still are 2 rounds behind. They have to ensure they win this next one at the very least to continue this momentum and make Riot a little bit more scared. But they're going to go to that tea room karaoke site. So your default sort of starting site. So nothing too crazy to come of yet. But in terms of the lineups, they're bringing what most people are comfortable with. They're bringing that Alibi. They're bringing that Mozzie. Bring the Smoke, the Wamai, the Warden. Nothing too crazy, but everything you need. You got those shields. You got the impacts if you need an impact. You got the C4s. You got the denial. You've got everything you need. On the side of Riot, though, they're looking to take a bit more of a lurking approach, bringing that knock that we didn't get to see come out from Arena. So I wonder if that is going to punish Arena somehow.
Oh, absolutely will. If Arena is not able to just cut off these angles. I mean, once again, we're talking about the fragger players. We're talking about their positions to just absolutely dominate these team sort of play styles. At the moment, Riot have just been showing that the strategies that they have and the plays that they can make, it is just it is just such a difficult outlook for a lot of these players. But there we go. There's the first one. Zethy even teabagging onto Flux as he's able to confirm the kill. That's going to be the Flores drone down completely as we start to see the move coming in from a bunch of the Arena players. Now, it's all down to the way that Riot starts to make their push, and immediately Arena are going to read it. They're going to start falling back. They don't need to play here any longer. So, here comes the interesting part.
Yeah, but Zethy's going to be careful. He does find some damage onto Knock there. You see the blood splatter, but he's going to try and walk up main. They're not aware of it. I don't think there's anybody watching it right now.
No one watching for this Knock. Such a problem child sitting underneath all of the members of Arena, and I don't think they will expect Azes to actually make this push either up the main stairs or up the back stairs. Either or, it's going to be the problem child that I don't think they'll expect, and we can already start to see he's making his movement now. Rilla's starting to jump up with Cyro as well as the peaks will come in. Zethy's going to take a lot of damage. No plays going to be made just yet. The nades will come through and he'll set one more. It will remove the shield at this stage. Still, they're not going to be playing underneath. Kilo will be dropped down. 54 seconds remaining on the board. Still plenty enough time for both of these teams to make some sort of slow play style. Once again, the Knock starting to make the way up, needs to push for this position. Zuve is going to be able to predict it, and that will be as is taken off the board. The nades obviously coming from somewhere. They were coming from downstairs, and that means Kulo does have the chance to be picked back up. Sai looking to see if he can find someone. Rella will make the peaks back and forth, able to find the one onto Kongi. Kulo may actually just end up bleeding out here. Nope, he'll be revived up. Tesla making his way to push forward. Zuve is going to be able to find the kill. This is an Arena round. 4 members still remain. The pigs go back and forth. The kill's not able to be confirmed. And Arena will look to move it up a little bit more.
Yeah, that was an interesting round from Riot. They were sort of relying on Azes on that knock to do something so that they could explode, and unfortunately Azes couldn't do anything from there, and Zuve read into it. So Riot, they fall short, and now there's only one round that separates these two teams, and that lead is going to be dropping. They're going to be careful that they don't drop any more rounds and they continue to climb the round count. Otherwise, Arena will crawl back, and being on that defense, it's a hell of a lot easier. They get to work with the clock, not against it. And Riot, they're proving to have to be challenged by Arena. Arena aren't letting this map go just yet. They're keeping themselves in this fight, and I think if it continues to go this way, Arena could bring this all the way back.
So this is where it's starting to get a little bit interesting. Because Riot, they were well in control on their attacking phase, and you'd expect the same for their defending phase. But at the moment, Arena, they're showing that they're the ones actually in control. They're the ones that have the ability to take control of this map, or of this round, of this game, of this half so far. So it all depends on what happens in the next about 3 minutes, I reckon. If it starts to get tied back up, that's a big concern for Riot. They need to be cutting off these angles. They need to be picking up these players. And if they continue to just miss these areas, they're going to get so massively caught. The IQ here being such an amazing operator to be brought in play, as now they can just immediately hit exactly where those two Kaid charges are placed and open up this wall. On the look to see if someone will make the run out, as now it will immediately be opened back up. But if this can go through, it will... No, it will not. It will be fully opened up, as now that wall, though electrified, will not be able to be not open. It's going to be there. It's going to be an option for Riot to make their push from.
It definitely will, but I think they put it on that far right to try and get that mirror, but for Sushi, it didn't quite work out, I do believe. I think the mirror is still up near Sushi. Maybe they didn't quite put it too far to the left. I don't know, but they are spotting out this utility, and no one's to fall just yet. Almost halfway in the round, they're just trying to be a little bit patient. They've got what they needed. Now they're waiting for Arena to sort of move into their crosshairs, but they can't let this happen for too long because they do have to still plant the bomb. But some damage to be done to Density, and I'd imagine his position in Sushi will not be there for long.
Yeah, well, the damage is dealt, and that's exactly what you want for Riot. You want to start chipping away at these players, maybe even getting a few kills. That is not what you want for themselves, as Zuve is able to find a massive kill. Nades will start coming from underneath, as now they'll know that he's in the position downstairs. No push to be made upstairs just yet, as the players, they'll start to look at making a little bit of a push or a way up. Possibly trying to see if they can spot someone. Zuve in the perfect position to watch for this run-in with 35 seconds remaining. Riot are going to need to start making a move on. They've been able to chip away at 2 members so far and been looking to push straight in as much as they possibly can. Zethi is going to be taken off the board. Rel is able to confirm the kill there. Kongi is able to find one. Flux is able to find one on Suzuve. Now it's all down to multiple members. Flux is able to find a second onto Kongi. He can start making his way in. Kulo is able to find one onto Flux. Az is able to find one onto Density. Now it's all down to the last 2. Kulo is able to find it onto Az's shot. Cyro will be taken out. Kulo able to confirm the kill. And that will be a round for Arena. And Riot are in a lot of trouble.
Kulo was feeling himself that round, and he definitely secured that win. And now things are evened out on the scoreline. 4-4 for Arena and Riot. And I think this is a good opportunity for Riot to take a timeout here. But it looks like we're going ahead in the next round. You know, Riot, they just lost the last 2 rounds in a row. Or actually, 3 rounds, right?
Well, it has,
3.
Yeah, it has been almost 3 rounds in a row, including on their defensive half. However, it is now starting to get a little bit concerning because Arena, they are looking well in control. Yes, it's getting down to these 1v1 situations, but when they're in these 1v1s, who do you ask more than the Clutch Master to be brought into play of Kulo, as he keeps coming out with a win somehow, some way. So at the moment, Arena, they are looking like the ones that actually have the control here, have the chance to win this all. If they are not able to, if Riot are not able to identify exactly where these players are positioned, especially in this round, it's, in my opinion, it's all over. And I see Arena coming out on top here.
I'd have to agree with you there. I did vote for Riot to win this game, but they're slowly losing their grip on it. And, you know, Arena, they're not even knocking on Riot's front door. They're just charging on through. And Riot are letting them right now. So when it comes down to these gunfights, these you know, they need to make it in their favor, play off each other a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know, they just need to find their own groove. The same at Arena, you know, Arena are playing well to find those trades, but so is Riot. But when it comes down to the last 1v1, they're not able to close it out. So hopefully round 9, this is a Riot round to break that curse and hopefully find some momentum of their own.
Well, surprisingly, KJ, both of these two teams, they're attackers. They're both attacking half teams. They play extremely well on the attack. They struggle on the defense. But here we've seen the complete opposite. Riot have been playing extremely well on the defense, and then Arena have been answering back with their plays on the defense. So it's very, very confusing between these two teams. But there we go again. Cyro able to find the first kill to open it up, and it looks like Riot, they're looking to get a little bit more aggressive now as they can start moving their members immediately in. But you never count out Zuve when he's in the perfect position to cut off these players making their movements. One will be spotted out. It will be a cam in position. I don't believe it is the... Never mind, I take it back. It is the Valkyrie being available, as Density will be able to find the kill on Dorella. His position well known. Zethi as well. He's still got the Nitro. He's able to go downstairs and possibly even throw it back up to find the player. So it's all down to the way that Riot can make their push here, but they need to be careful. They need to be spotting out this Valkyrie, and that is not a good start to it. Arena, you are looking incredible ever since you got onto the defensive half. That's another member down. Zuve will be the one to answer it. And what can Riot do at this current stage? There's 35 seconds remaining. Zethi's gonna find one. It's all down to the diffuser position. The player's gonna be spotted out. Iana needs to fall back, find some cover. It's not gonna be picked up. Zethi is able to find the triple, and Arena will take the lead.
I don't quite know what Riot's doing. They're sort of, I believe they're just relying on Az's a lot. He's lurking. He's just sort of holding an angle, not really doing all that much, and that then puts Riot in a 4v5 essentially, or however many engagements they're taking up upstairs. That's just one less player to work with. I think if they sort of forget that lurk, it's not really paying off dividends for them. They need to sort of find something together. They need to all push together, all commit to one thing, clearing out those players together, and maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to win this next round. But I think for the most part, the lurk is just not it with the way that they're playing. But you did say that these teams are usually attack-sided, but maybe it's the map that enables these players, these teams, to be more defense-heavy.
It just feels weird. It doesn't feel right with these two teams, does it? When they're on normally attacking teams, and you see them all of a sudden become extremely good defending teams. Something just doesn't feel right, you know?
Maybe it's just because we're not on an Oregon, we're on a skyscraper.
Very true.
We've seen lots of Oregon, and a lot of people know how to attack it. Maybe on this map, both teams just lack the experience of attacking such a good defense. And Arena, they're keeping up the streak. They've won the last 4 rounds in a row. And Riot, they still don't have an answer for it. And it looks like Zethi's trying to, you know, push his finger in the wound a little bit, try and run out. But no, Flux, he was ready for it, and Zethi's just going to reinforce it off.
I don't think that was just Zethi there. I think that was also Kilo looking to make the run out on the opposite side. They opened up the wall. That one reinforced. But now, obviously, he's just going to fall back. He's having fun, and they have to clear that angle, which is going to delay and slow down any sort of push potential, any sort of plays. Now, we're back on the sites that are commonly played from these two teams. They definitely have played these a lot more, especially in their ranked games. So it all comes down to who's the better team currently with these sort of setups. Mechanically, I think Arena's got the edge. They definitely know how to play around with their operators, play around with their, I guess, their own abilities, their mechanically gifted abilities. So at the moment, that's where Arena is really stepping up. On the opposite end, right, you have such good team coordination. Use it as much as you possibly can. Zethi now. Let's see if someone's actually going to peek him. Almost finding the head there. Will not be able to confirm it. A minute and 10 seconds. Make that 15 seconds remaining. I think we're about to start going pretty quick here.
Oh, the Flores drone clears the shield, but you don't clear the player. He finds Rala, but Cyro to trade it back. So, you did lose one, but you were able to get that refrag. So that was very, very, necessary to this push. But 55 seconds, still a lot of time to work with. They do have this shrine control now. They need to get this drum control. But Kongi, he's aggressive in this T side, and he's ready to take this engagement onto the Yana, who is quite low. So if he takes the wrong sort of engagement and peaks the wrong angle, he's going to find himself victim to all of these players on the side of Arena. And Kulo, he's still holding this down in drum. How is he doing this?
Well, it looks like he is just one of the biggest threats that can come up against Riot. Has is still with 3 sets of drones. He's not going to be using any of them. Now down to 15 seconds as Kongi will find the first. It will be Cyro taken off the board as now 2 members will remain. The peak will come through. Kulo knows that they are inside. Blunt is going to be attempted. Flux is able to find one. Az is able to find one as well. 2 players still up for the side of Arena. Kulo will be the first to find one. He finds the second! That's a shot and a half. But now it's Flux versus Zuve. And Zuve knows exactly where Flux is. The back and forth will go through. Kulo will look to be picked up, and it will be successfully done. So now 2 members will remain. One will be found. The second will be found as well. Flux will bring it back for Riot as I believe he found a triple there for his team.
Wow. That was a different sort of executed from Riot. That I didn't see that working in their favor. I think the fact that they were able to find that little gap in Arena's hold was so big. So big. And that breaks the momentum of Arena as well. And Riot, they finally find that round. They're able to shut down Arena. They're rebuilding that Jenga tower that's crumbled just earlier. So hopefully they can secure this next round, which is so important. Whoever wins this next round has that match point advantage and gets to have that comfortability of potentially going to overtime, or if they win the round, they win the game. It's anybody's game though now.
Oh, well, we said 7-5, 8-7 almost between these two teams. It is a back and forth game, back and forth play style. Who do you think's gonna go to match point here, KJ? I'm as
I don't know. I don't know.
As everyone could possibly be, even watching this. It is such a close match, such a different sort of play style that we're not used to seeing in these two teams, and it's just, I don't even know what to think, to be honest. It's incredible. It's an incredible watch currently.
Yeah, I think, we did say it was going to be a close game, but I didn't think it would be like this, where it's like back-to-back 4Ks, 1v1 situations, and just when everything looks dire for one team, it just completely flips, and I guess that's the game of Siege, but there's only so many rounds in a game, and we're getting to that final part of this match, and it's really who has that edge. And right now, I couldn't put my finger on it, but we're about to see in these next coming 2 minutes and 15 seconds who's going to win this very vital round to the flow of this game. But right now, Arena, they have that advantage of being able to run down the clock, and Kulo's in that same position that we saw him run down the clock so well before. And I'd imagine that Arena, they'd be aware of that sort of gap in their hold, that Riot were able to expose. They can't do the same thing. It won't be the same tale as last round. They gotta find something different to work off of. But right now, they haven't lost that man yet. They still have all 5 up. So I think Riot, they're in a good position as well. They've opened up the wall. They've got this XE control. Now they just have to clear these shields, which I don't think there is actually in Shrine. They've chose to put it somewhere else. And they've made themselves known on this side. So Arena should be aware that they have these positions, but they've gifted it for free.
Yeah, well, with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining, that may not be the play that Arena kind of wants to do, but they're going to let it happen anyway as they start moving a player up the stairs. It's going to be Zuve to try and see if he can find anything there. Density looking to see if he can spot one out as well. Kulo in the perfect position, still sitting in that drum as Diana will spot out the position of one. It is doable to remove him from that position, but that nade gonna be cooked incorrectly and also picked up by the Wamai, so it doesn't really matter. That nade's basically done and dusted. Kulo, the man with 14 kills, he's looking for a 15 bomb, able to find one. Rella will pick up Zuve, and that is a big kill. That's the player that was sitting on the outside there. Density, what a shot. Almost finds the second, as now Tesla will be able to pick up one onto Density. Kongi goes back and forth. Tesla able to confirm the kill, as now 2 on 2. But the diffuser is down. They need to get to it. Tesla is 1 HP. Kongi's on site. He'll find the... Oh! I was gonna say he'll find one, but Riot swing it back. 1 HP Tesla and the full HP Rella will secure it into match point for Riot.
Wow, Rella, like, not... He didn't whiff that. That was the Warden. And, you know, Rella, in no sense, should have won that engagement. He was sprinting to the side, trying to get that diffuser and then get the plant down. But the Warden, just not aware that he was just going to sprint in like that. And unfortunately, I'd say that cost that round. And if you're Arena, you know, you came that far to bring it back, and now you've let Riot secure that match point. That is a rough round for Arena, and that could be the real tilter. That could push them over the edge now. But Riot, they're looking comfortable. They want to, you know, clean this up, end it here and now, and not go to that overtime. But if we go into an overtime, I don't know. Yaki, this is
I don't want
not the skyscraper we're used to.
I'll tell you what, KJ, I don't want to even think about it. I don't want to even think about going into an OT. It is too scary to even consider going into an OT right now. These two teams are playing so incredibly well up against each other that is just such a scary prospect to see where it can end up. But at the moment, one of these two teams does have to win it. Oh, it is tough. It is going to be so tough. Riot will start to make their way up, and this may be the round that will secure their win that they have been looking for. Got to remember, Riot currently ranked a little bit lower than Arena, and they are looking to secure their ability to make a bit of a push up, bit of a change here. And as is immediately going up the top, it looks like he's going to be trying to remove whatever shield he can find inside of Dragon. Don't think there is one just yet, but he may actually end up possibly going for Density's shield, or trying to at least. But now, 2 minutes, and this could call it.
It definitely could, and I'd imagine Arena, they're feeling it right now. They have to win this round, and they do have the defense, but the wall has been open from the Thermite here, so that's a really good Thermite breach. It's opened the wall of Sushi as well, so if the player playing there isn't careful, he will be exposed and will be shut down. But we saw Zuve playing in that position once before. He was able to get, I do believe, a couple picks there, so I think they're not able to shut him down. This could be Arena's round. Not all is lost.
Well, A minute and 20 seconds. 5v5. It's starting to get a little bit hairy. Starting to get a little bit scary for these two teams. They've got so much riding on this round. They've played so hard so far. 60 seconds now. As is pushing on the opposite end, needs to be so careful. Kulo is in the perfect position to counter it, but he gets a bit too antsy. And now the back and forths will begin. It's just going to keep going as they try and do the salsa tangle between each other. Rilla's going to be brought down. That's Kongi able to find the kill there. As now Density needs to be careful of the players making their push into sight. We've got to remember, Flux is the man to watch. Azaz is going to be taken out by Kulo, and that is a huge pick. Tesla, he's made his way up. The back and forths will start going with him. Peek will come through from Density. Kulo is able to find one on to Tesla. 2 members remaining as one's going to be pushing up from the bottom. Zethi's going to execute Cyro as Flux will be able to find one. It will be Kulo and on to Zuve, but he's got to find so much more. Zephy is going to be able to take out the last man, and oh my lord.
That was a round, and that is what Arena needed. We're in the overtime, so neither team get all 3 points. So at least one team will be walking out today with 1 point, Tiaki. So, you know, props to both teams. They've made it this far. And on a map like Skyscraper, that is a good position to be in. You know, even if you lose this game, you still get that point. So both teams have put up a fight to get to this scoreline that we are right now. But, you know, you want that extra point. You want to get 2 points this match. And I'd imagine that Arena and Riot, they want to fight for it. So we're going to see some crazy rounds.
Attackers need to locate
Some crazy rounds, some crazy plays. Bit of a change, bit of a switch round. Let's see how these teams end up going. 6-6 is the scoreboard, is the lineup. OT for these two teams as they look to try and push it as far as they possibly can. And it's going to be very interesting. Ah, the Lord has made his presence known. Tachanka has been brought into play, and it looks like Arena, here it comes. The interesting picks are going to start being brought out. They're going to be trying to set up more than one Goyo. Looks like they're going to be playing with the Tachanka fire grenades as well. Zethy, please don't do it.
What is he doing? Oh no. Oh no, Riot.
Oh!
He didn't die, so that's a positive, but he is on that half HP, so that is a rough position. But, like I said, he is still alive, he's still in this round, so that is a good position. Not all is negative, you know, we take what we get. But, if you have a look, Tiaki, not only do they have a smoke, they have a Tachanka, they also have a Goyo. So there's a lot of post-plant denial here, as well as just entry denial. But they also have had that C4 if they wanted to use it for post-plant. But as he's going to make good use of that Flores drone, he's going to clear that shield. That is a really good shield to clear early.
Absolutely. It's one of the biggest things that you want to try and remove. ASAP. Flores drone immediately trying to pick up those shields as they start to open up the wall here. They can start looking for those players in their basic sort of positions. As I thought that was Yana actually going fully in. No drone, no Gemini. Regardless, though, there's going to be a player sitting on site as the Yana will be able to spot out the Tachanka and will look to make their way downstairs. So if they can get enough info, they'll be able to find something on some
there's no one on site.
Something close, but there's as you mentioned, there's barely anyone on site. This is not what Arena is looking for.
Yeah, if IQ jumps in here, if he notices that Tachanka is the only one here and he wins this engagement, this could be deadly for Arena. This could be the nail in the coffin. And if Riot win this first round, they get to go onto that defense. So that would be definitely something to go off of. And Tesla, he's looking to get active on that shield play. But he's going to run right in. And he's going to die to the smoke of Barella to find the refrag. Fox to find one of his own. And it's all just chaos. Kongi to find Rella. 3v3, 40 seconds. And the chaos is just about to continue to unfold as Kulo finds another onto Flux. And it's all left to Cyro and Aziz. It's not looking good for Riot.
Well, they can still pick it up with the members that they still have. 20 seconds remaining on the board. The diffuser is going to be currently down inside of A site, but it looks like Aziz, he's got control of it enough to start looking for a plant. No nades for the side of Psy as he looks not able to spot it out just yet. As Aziz will be able to spot out one. That's going to be Kongi. Now there's multiple members still up, but he finds a second. It's all down to Kulo. And what man would you want in the ending here? He able to find one. Needs to be careful about this position. Sai can just sit outside. He doesn't need to make his way in. Kulo expecting the player going to be jumping in, faking the defuse as much as he possibly can. But it looks like it is known. He's going to start defusing. Peek's going to be made. It's going to be the wrong direction. Riot have won the round. And that will be the kill confirmed. 7-6. OT match point.
Kilo, man. He's doing so much for Arena right now. He's almost dropped that 20 bomb. But Riot, they just have the tricks up the sleeve. You know, even when it looks dire, they're able to work through it, get that plant down, and then just play it safe. I think Cyro, knowing that that was a fake defuse, was huge for that round as well. So props to him for figuring that out. But maybe if he stuck it from the beginning, it could have been different. You know, pros don't fake, pros don't fake. But we go to this potentially final round of this game. But if Arena can match that energy on the attack, we could go all 15 rounds, Tiaki.
Oh, that is a very interesting concept, is it not?
Definitely is.
Full 15 round game for the two teams that we, as casters, a lot of us kind of put Riot as the winning factor, and then a few of us said actually Arena's got a chance here. They've got the ability to control it. So I honestly don't know what else to say in its current setup right now. Arena, they will be on their attacking half. Density bringing in the Blackbeard once again. Zethi jumping immediately onto that Montaigne. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a different sort of play that we're going to be seeing from Arena. Maybe the same that we saw in round number 1, as on the opposite end, Riot, they will just look to try and secure this all out. If they can do it successfully, that's the game done. That's it all over. But Arena, they'll be looking to try and get this as close to perfection as usual.
Yeah, they are bringing this Monty, though, and we've seen how useful it can be, but it also wasn't too great for them on this karaoke site last time. I do believe that Riot were able to collapse on that Monty and shut down that post plant, so they are bringing that Blackbeard, though. And last time they brought the Blackbeard, density went absolutely huge in that round, so I think if he can make it work again, Arena's still in this. But Kulo, remember, he is the star of this team right now. 18-8, not to count out Kongi. He's doing quite well himself, but almost 20 kills. That's almost the entire side of Riot 4 times in a row, right?
That is absolutely... Oh, and there we have it again. Kulo able to pick up another one on the end of Riot. So that is going to be Cyro taken off the board, as now a minute and 20 seconds remain. It's all looking like it's about to all crash down. They know the position of a few players. They know the jump out potential, and it looks like it's going to be made. Rella, he's going to get a bit too aggressive. I think we're going to the max OT. As Flux, he'll look to get a little bit aggressive. Cannot make the pick. cannot make the play. As it looks like Zethi, he may look to push straight through, is successful
one bullet.
in doing so. What? There is one bullet on Flux. He hasn't realized it. He's gone for the reload. As Aziz will be able to pick up one, Tesla's able to pick up a second. Now there's still 2 remaining up at this top floor. No more smoke grenades or anything. Aziz still with a nitro cell available. If he can move downstairs, he can prep something up on the exact position of Zethi. They know exactly where he is. Nade will come through. Will it find the kill? It won't. Bad bounce off the wall. Peek will come through down the hallway. Aziz is going to be crushing it back as he's able to find Kulo. The man that did all the work is not able to find it just yet. Flux goes back and forth. 1 bullet for him. Plan can be attempted, but there's Tesla. And Riot Gaming will be your winners.
Wow. Riot. You had us in the first half, then you didn't in the second half for a little bit, and then you brought it back, and then we went to overtime, and then you flawless the overtime. Wow. Wow.
What can you say? It was an absolutely incredible match. 8th spot will take over 7th spot. Finally, it has been decided. But, however, it is still one of the hardest matches that we have seen this evening in this preparation, in this setup. Both these 2 teams played exceptionally well. They knew exactly what they were doing. And I mean, the MVPs, we obviously know who that's going to be. Arena, Kulo, you are absolutely incredible. Almost dropping a 20 bomb for your team, keeping them in for a lot of the rounds. And on the opposite side, I mean, I don't know who to give it to. Riot, every single one of your members played exceptionally well, and that is why you guys were able to stay in this match as significantly and as effectively as you guys possibly could be. So, all in all, it was an incredible match to watch, and we went to Max OT, and it was fun, enjoyable. That's all I can say, KJ, at this stage.
It was definitely a beautiful game to watch, and I think, yeah, Riot, a lot of those players all had double digits. I'm pretty sure I saw like about 3 11s, 1 10, and maybe an 8. So I think everyone on Riot stepped up for the most part. So I think, they all had a round or 2 that they stepped up and were able to secure it. So it did look dire at some points, but they were able to secure it in the end. And I think that's what matters. They were able to find those 2 points. But remember, they did go to overtime. So Arena still get 1 point. And as those teams that are sort of stuck on the bottom, you wanna try and get as many 3 points as you can. But unfortunately, Riot and Arena, too good of a matchup and too good of teams to let that happen. And I do enjoy an overtime game, though. It really shows how competitive teams will be. But we've got the interview, Tiaki. We've got the inside info on how the game went for the side of Riot, and it's Tesla.
Well, Mr. Tesla, how is it going, my friend? How incredible of a match was that? I mean, you guys were ranked 8th for the last little while, last few weeks, and now you were able to beat the 7th team. It was a very close match, and I mean, you had some ups, you had some downs, but eventually you came out with the win. What were your thoughts on that match, Tesla?
It was an interesting match. We honestly just didn't really have much expectations going into the match. We kind of just been chilling. There isn't really much going on in terms of like, we haven't really been scrimming or anything like that. So we're kind of just taking it day by day with the matches.
Keeping it nice and chill.
The one thing to highlight from your team, though, is that, in comparison to Arena, they had some star players, but in terms of yours, everyone sort of put in the effort to have their rounds and sort of have an even scoreboard in terms of those frags as well. Is, those refrags as well, with the potential for that. You guys are playing so well off each other. Is there any sort of, do you guys play ranked with each other, seeing as you're not scrimming, or what's the go behind that?
I think probably individually, the players on this team are probably really good compared to like the rest. But like, I don't want to like, let's say I have an ego or anything, but like we have a really high skill ceiling in terms of like the players and like the mentality, just like everything really clicks. Like I think we have really good synergy in terms of I think Azes and Rel have been playing together forever. Zero, Flux, we're all chill. Like we all like none of us hate, like we all love each other. At the end of the day, like none of us have any hard feelings after any like ill discussions or anything like that. We take it on the chin, we move on, and we're here to win. Like we're here to move forward.
Good team, good communication, and good work is what we love to see for a lot of the teams, especially coming into this competition. You have Arena, known as the Fragger team, but then you've got other teams that work really well with each other. In terms of how the game was really going for you guys, going over onto midway, let's say, through Skyscraper, you guys had a little bit of an issue. You guys got onto the back foot a little bit, and you allowed Arena to catch up and even take over the lead for a little bit. What kind of happened there? What was the problems that you guys were seeing?
We weren't working together pretty much at all. Like on our attacks, I think one round we worked together. I think it was one of the last couple rounds we won on attack. We just like something clicked, and I'm just like, guys, if we just need to go over the count, go together. Don't do solo stuff. That's giving away the pick. Like I think it was the round where we planted, and it went down to a 1v1. I think I was like, hey guys, just relax, take it slow. Like timer isn't a thing. If we get the bomb down, that's all that matters. We can win the round.
For sure. And you definitely stepped it up in the later parts of the game. I think you worked really well together. So when you do work well together, it's beautiful to see. So if you can keep that up, I think you definitely will win these later games in the tournament. And I think, yeah, I'm excited to see how you guys play. But is there any last words before we switch over, Tesla?
Just like thank you guys for the cast. Thanks Riot for the support they give us. They're all really cool guys, like Grit. It's a good thing I hate me. I forget the rest of them, but like they're all really good dudes. Like they all like they support us. Like they're really good. They have never said anything bad after all the losses. Like we owned our losses. Like we said what we did wrong. We knew what we did wrong. We told them that like we're working on it. But it's kind of hard with the circumstances. But like they're all really chill dudes, and appreciate them.
Well, that's what we like to see. Thank you so much for coming on to the player interview and joining us at the casting desk, Tesla. It was an absolutely incredible match. Best luck in the future, my friend, and hopefully you continue with the wins that you have seen so far. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, at this current stage, Altered Edge and Bandits is our next game. There will be it won't be too long until we get that up and running. But for now, it has been a wonderful evening. Stay tuned, as we will have multiple other matches to go through, and we'll see you guys very, very soon.
See you guys then.